Ladies and gents, we are bad to the bone on this hump day. 6 ways real estate pros are doing branding all wrong. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm excited. This is round 2 with BrandFace, so here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business, on social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Yeah, we're definitely bad to the bone, ladies and gents. Woo! I think this song, by the way, Ham, is perfect for some heat.
There you go.
There it is. All right, all you business pros out there. Before we jump into the show, just a quick reminder, please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're listening to us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review. Help other like-minded business owners find value from our awesome guests while we rise up in those podcast rankings. We'll sincerely appreciate every single one of you for it. And if you want to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you on to learn from you as well. Go to www.businessbros.biz, schedule your time, and don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Business Bros Pod. All right, everybody, we're so excited and honored to bring another incredible guest to the Business Bros Pod. Our guests today are sales and real estate rock stars who have been massively successful in everything from selling vacuum cleaners, creating radio stars, and writing books to auctioning real estate and coaching entrepreneurs to the tops of their markets. Their combined background has afforded them the opportunity to help others reach unimagined heights of success by strongly recognizing and emphasizing the importance of building a brand. Before they met, one of our guests had already written the book on branding. Inspired by the mantra that people don't do business with a logo, the two partnered up and they saw quadrupled growth in their real estate business over the next year. That's when they decided to join forces and write a second version of that book specifically for the real estate pro. And now they not only share their secrets in print, but also in one-on-one coaching services designed to help entrepreneurs and professionals differentiate themselves and win. Joining us today from BrandFace out of Powell, Ohio, welcome to the show, Tonya, Eberhart, and Michael Carr.
All right, guys, what do you think?
They're rocking out.
That's insane good.
Greatest intro ever.
It's changed a little bit from the last time you were on the show. I mean, we were able to do stuff virtually, but we've taken it to a whole new game. I mean, give me a little bit of feedback. Last time you were here compared to this time you were here, just 3 minutes in.
Oh man, you are rocking
Fantastic.
it. Like what personality jumping off this screen?
I love it.
I do.
Love it.
I love it. And it's
Yes.
so like you guys. You know, when we first were interviewed by you guys, what's it been, like a year and a half or more ago? Maybe even
Something like
2.
that.
Mhm.
You guys were so energetic and we never forgot that, right? But
Yep.
now what you've done is you've brought your game level up to your level of energy.
Yes.
Like that, how you present yourself is now on your level.
I love it.
And it's awesome that you say that, because we're literally talking about creating a brand, and the most memorable part of what we do is bring that kind of energy and give you an experience that you're not going to get on any other podcast interview you've probably ever gone on. That's the brand that we wanted to put forth, and it's cool that it's stuck in your minds that's what we do. That's how we help you guys
Love
out.
it.
Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is.
Thanks, Danny.
Give it a 10, baby. That's awesome.
All right, 6 ways that real estate agents are messing things up. Like, personal branding. I had this conversation with my students today, first day back at school, and I'm emphasizing the importance of a brand, especially today. Back in the day, building a brand probably wasn't as important as it is today going forward.
Great.
What are we messing up here? What are real estate agents doing wrong?
Well, if I can just jump right in, the first thing is people, you don't do business with a logo. You do business with a person. Like, that's the very first thing that you got to get right. when you're
true.
talking about building a brand, just like you guys are doing right there. Like, so what we've seen y'all do is elevate this thing to this stratosphere. This is fantastic, but the authenticity is the same guys that we saw a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when we were on your program. So you just carried your brand now up to what you already were, like Tonya said earlier. And I think it's fantastic. We're trying to get real estate agents to do the same thing, man. We're trying to get them to get out of that cookie cutter. You know what I mean? I've got the, 2 symbols on my card and it's the logo of the big brand brokerage that I work for. And that's enough to get business. And it's not. You got to show your personal side.
Yeah, that's the number one thing is they forget to inject the personal into it. And I'm going to let's mark this moment in time. It is Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. And I would like to say you guys have inspired another phrase for BrandFace, and it is don't leave your brand beneath you.
I love it.
You guys lifted that up and you brought it up to your level. And that's what we want everybody to know, like the personal side of you, the professional side of you. Everybody wants to know both sides of you because they don't do business with just the professional person. They do business with the real person, right? That human being. And if the brand and the brand, a lot of people think, well, I'm not interesting enough. My personal life's not very interesting. My work life's not interesting. And we say nonsense. Yes, it is. It's very interesting. And your brand should be even half as cool as you are, right?
Yep. You know what? No matter who you
ain't no thing like me except me.
Exactly, Rocky. That's exactly what we're saying. It's funny that you say that. I've been testing all kinds of different types of posts on social media. Lately, we've been more focused on the guests and creating that sort of stuff. But on my story, right on the story, that is me. You get to see me, whatever goes on in my day. You get to see my kids, all that sort of stuff. And the stuff that I do that is very generic, where like I'm at Walmart or I'm at, at the kids' soccer game, that gets much more interaction and much more views than the stuff I try to like choreograph and script out. Why is it that people like to see you, the person, versus you, the logo or the brand?
Well, I think it's because they know that the professional side of you is rote and scripted, right? They know that you've already thought through, okay, what do I want people to think about me professionally? I want them to think I'm successful, that I can help them, that I have this expertise. So they expect a certain amount of that to be put out there. And on social media, everybody's always putting out the perfect, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you want them to see the things that they don't normally see. And it's intriguing. And we're a voyeuristic society.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we don't care, that you had another closing or another sale today. It's awesome. It shows your success. It shows your expertise. But what we really want to see is what happened when you went kayaking last week and one of you dumped out of the boat.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly more enjoyable than my average day.
Yeah.
Totally is. Totally is.
I think we bond on those things too, though, right? Like everybody goes to Walmart. I mean, everybody goes shopping. Everybody's got to go to the grocery store. Everybody's got to go. So certain things that we do during a day when we're sharing those things that people relate to that. And the idea of the brand is you build the brand. It's sort of like you bond on them on the level that they're at, right? But then you want to show them, hey, we also have this podcast called Business Bros, right? You know what I mean? Like you can, and so they may follow you on the fact that you're going to Walmart to buy flip-flops because it's beach day, right? But then they say, wait, what is this? And then they find your podcast and then they find the other things you do. And you relate that to any industry that you were in, and you're not leading with the sales, you're leading with who you are. I think we all bond there.
I gotta share something with you guys, and you gotta tell me. It's probably super embarrassing for me, and I'm gonna throw it up here anyways. Super embarrassing for me, but you tell me. I did this as part of a marketing campaign. It's not gonna. I haven't quite decided where I'm gonna use it, but you tell me if this helps with my branding. Oh my gosh, it's totally embarrassing. So here we go. Let me know what you think here.
I'm already interested.
Did you forget to share the audio, or is it silent?
Yeah. The audio is not playing.
Okay, let's pause this real quick because it's quite embarrassing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
It's almost better silent.
It's almost better silent. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. All right.
I love
All right. Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna tear. There you go.
All right.
The
So for all
there
those
you go.
people out there watching live right now, it's worth the wait. Just hold on.
Oh,
We
there
got
you go.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
That's it. I hear it now.
And this is me at Walmart, making a fool of myself, showing everybody my dance moves. Okay. Oh, how embarrassing.
Nice.
Oh, it hurts to watch it.
I'm just happy you showed the vacuum aisle, dude. Vacuum's big to us around here. Dude, I love it. I love it. Bravo.
Thank you.
Like you actually have some pretty decent moves there.
You did.
Thanks.
I was watching. I was like, see, you suck me. And I'm like, oh, man. I got some moves.
Well, and from a branding perspective, all I want to do is make you laugh, right? I want you to remember me and have some fun with me. And part of my audience is they only see this side of me sometimes where we're behind the microphone, but I can be silly too. I can be a little bit different too. And that kind of grabs people's attention. It's different from what they see. Is that the type of stuff you're talking about when we're creating fun and engaging branding type material?
Let me, from my perspective, it is because look, we already know you're a fun-loving guy. We've already met you and talked to you, and so we already know that. This doesn't surprise me. You would shoot this video. It surprised me how good you are at the video. I knew you would shoot something like this. So.
I think he's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, okay. So that goes beyond the logo, right? That's the actual individual, making an ass of himself at Walmart in front of other people in public. But what else can we do? What else are real estate agents doing that we can, or doing wrong that we can kind of improve on to build that brand, to generate more business, to generate more referrals?
All right. You want to go first?
You go for it.
I think that we have to push our purpose.
Yeah.
Not our profession.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody knows we're in real estate. Like they already know that. They know what to do. I've gotten more business with people talking about how they were going to list their house with somebody else while I rub their back, and don't act like I don't care if they list with me or not, than I would if I ran in and said, hey, man, I've sold thousands of houses. You need to use me. Right. It's just, you can't convince somebody against their will. They have to come to the conclusion that you're the person they need to do business with. And it doesn't matter what form of entrepreneur you are, that they have to come to that realization. I think that agents need to show their purpose a lot more than their profession.
And that purpose is actually part of their story. So, a lot of people think, and we'll get to this in just a minute, think that branding is just a few little things that are really just branding elements. But a brand is, your story is kind of like a book, right? I mean, your brand is kind of like a book. It is your story, but you can't possibly fit the contents of the entire contents of the book on the cover. So your purpose is inside of that, right? You can share that through some brand messaging, through why do you do what you do? What shaped you? Who do you work with? Why do you work with them? What does that mean to them? All of those things.
Why
and that
did you get in real estate?
encompasses your purpose.
Yeah, or whatever industry you're in. Right. Why did you get into it?
There are almost 2 million real estate agents, right? That's their profession. Why are they doing it? What's the purpose?
Right.
This has got to be beyond money. Because let's face it, there's a lot of times you're getting into it and it's monetary, right? It's got to be, your story and your purpose have got to be beyond that just commission breath.
Amen.
So true.
It's a longevity game, right? Now you're going to have a lot of people, especially even with a low inventory market. You got people jumping in real estate, making some quick bucks or whatnot. There's flashes in the pan. They're going to go away. The ones that build their brand and do the purpose for why they got into real estate are the ones that are going to last. They're going to go through the ups. They're going to go through the downs, and we're always going to have downs. All industries have downs. We're in an up right now, except for inventory, right? We're in an up right now, but we're going to see a down. The ones that are building their brand right now with the success that they're having, they have that longevity in mind, and it has to be beyond the money. It's not about the money will follow. There's more money than we can spend. We can make more money than we could ever spend. But if your intent is only the money, it ain't gonna work. You know, if you're in it because you love the purpose of either helping people, or you love houses, or you love the smell of new paint or new carpet, or what, you know what I mean?
Or puzzles.
Puzzles,
You know,
like, you know, you like
real
solving
estate can be.
problems, you like logistics, you like dealing with people. If you focus on those things that you like and express how that makes their life better, that's the longevity secret.
All right, number one.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Every time. Number one we had was logo. Then number two was purpose. What's number three?
Number three is they settle for the three amigos of marketing. Okay. So what we mean by that is if you've got a photo, a logo, and a tagline, you're branded. Okay. That is there. Those are elements, branding elements. We actually look at 77 different criteria when we brand somebody, you know, so it's much deeper than that. So those three things alone do not constitute a brand. It can't possibly tell the whole story. And I think that's probably, if I had to say, is there one thing that a lot of people really have misconception about? It's that.
Yeah, it doesn't like here's the way the three amigos like that will not establish connectivity with the person that you're trying to take on as a client and work with. It won't. It might catch their eye for a second, but if you don't have the rest of that story, if they can't see the rest of the why they should work with you and how that makes their life better, then you don't have the connection. You haven't built a relationship.
I see those as like the easy out. Like you're trying to get a six pack, right? And you can read about doing sit-ups and you can watch people do different types of sit-ups, but you actually have to get down and do the work for you to actually get that six pack you're looking for. And when you're talking about the elements, that's the easy stuff. That's the research. That's the picking your color. That's the deciding on the logos, the shape. And those are all necessary things, but that's not the work that's involved in creating your brand. Did I hear you correctly?
That's right.
You are correct. And so many people really toil over that logo. It's like, oh, the logo has to be perfect because the logo is my brand. And it's like, no, it's a logo. It is one piece that represents your brand. But it is, and they're so focused on exactly what that logo looks like, which it is important. You know, your visual aspects are an important part of things, but they're missing the boat.
Plus, it's going to change, right? Like, let's face it, you have an idea today, then you actually go do some work and implement stuff, and you realize, you know what, that color scheme didn't look good on my sign, that logo, I can't really put it on a hat, doesn't look good on a shirt. I think we're going to modify this, right? And so you waste a lot of time sitting there trying to create the right color scheme, create the right logo, when once you start implementing and practicing, that failure, that mistake that you make as you move forward, that's going to kind of fine tune what you're looking for in the end before you actually get to that final looking logo. And even then, there's no such thing as final because you're going to get a facelift every few years anyways.
Yeah, of course.
Very true.
Sure. And that's another reason why the story is never going to change. Like what makes a person fantastic at what they do is never going to change, even though those logos will get tweaked and those photos will get updated. I mean, if you look at our book, like I don't have this beard and this wisdom and the gray hairs, and I don't have all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That.
I didn't grow my hair out until I wanted to hide from
He had
everybody.
no beard on this book.
Even says updated, but it ain't that updated picture.
That was updated a while back.
But you know, everything we wrote.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Updated.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So we got we said logo, purpose, the three amigos. What's number 4?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, you jump first. She jumped first.
We both drew a breath. They settle for ditto instead of different. So people do the same things. You know, you see how someone else is marketing themselves and what their real estate posts look like on social media, and you just go mimic that, right? And that's ditto instead of being different. You know, a lot of people post closings and listings and open houses and all that, which is an important part.
Of course, should be done.
They need to, if once they infuse that personal brand, that's their story and it doesn't belong to anybody else. You know, they're the answer to a problem, right? And that solution doesn't belong to anybody else if they've set their brand up correctly. So that's what's missing.
That piece, it's funny because James and I were talking about this recently on the show. You know, we've completed 3 years of podcasting and we feel like we're just getting started. When we originally started, we committed to 3 years, but it's not until 3 years later that I think we really found our process, our framework for the show. We found the way we want to design our logo for the show, the message that we're trying to put out, and basically it's, we're helping people create video testimonials. It's like everything came from I tried this. When you're talking about, the ditto and different, I think you kind of have to start off with the ditto because you don't know any better. But as you move forward and you find that voice and you find your messaging, you become and focus on what makes you different from everybody else, right?
I'll take that.
Okay, I'll take that, but I'm going to challenge it just a little bit because I think it can end up being either one, Hernan. And when we have people come into our program, for instance, that are new to real estate, they say, well, how am I supposed to know who my ideal customer is? I've only been doing this 6 months or 2 months. Or how am I supposed to know what I really want to do because I haven't been doing it that long? It's like, okay, but you're really like, if you're going to define your brand and yourself on a specific, let's just say you deal with people who are looking for waterfront properties, right? And then what sets you apart is you've lived on waterfront. You've lived in a waterfront home or something along those lines. That's just one little way that you can inject those things into your brand. But if you step back for a minute and think, it doesn't have to be that difficult and I don't have to define that narrow, right? I can look at, okay, what kind of people do in terms of personality attributes and character traits, what kind of person do I want to work with? What phase of life would they be in? I don't have to be in real estate for very long at all. I could be in real estate for 2 days and know that I enjoy working with empty nesters because my parents are empty nesters and they just went through purging their home of 35 years and getting rid of stuff and then moving into an assisted living place. I enjoyed that process. I saw that it was hard and they needed the extra help. I enjoy that. Or my children might be millennials, and I love millennials because I just love their thought process. I really like what they stand for, or how they want to work, right? So you can start from that aspect, from everyday life. What phase of life are people in? That's how you define who you want to work with. And then what sets you apart could be many different things. So I really don't think you have to be in real estate for very long to state what you want out of business and life. Now, as you move forward, you might find that you tweak that just a little bit. So I can see both sides, but I don't want people thinking.
I think you never quit tweaking. I really do. One of the things about real estate is, as we all know, if you've been in real estate for any amount of time, it's different every time, all the time. There's no such thing as a real estate agent that's so successful they're not prospecting anymore. Like if you are, then you're going out of business. But most people don't realize that every Fortune 500 company, every Fortune 100 company has research and development. Why? Because there's no such thing as a sustainable corporation. Even Amazon will go away. You know why I know this? Sears went away. You could order a house from Sears. Right? Everybody's like freaking out, Zillow's going to take all our business.
Roofing and siding.
I'm like, you could have bought a house from Sears in like 1950. They just shipped it to you on a semi and you just put it up
out of their catalog.
Yeah, exactly. Right out of their catalog. And who's Sears? Like, it's gone. Now they had the largest, tallest building on earth. Like, everybody's like, oh, this thing, the Titanic's not going to sink, right? If you're in real estate changes. But the fundamentals of real estate don't change, and your fundamentals are not going to change. You're different. That you focus on can be adjusted. There's no doubt about that. But you do need to draw that line. And you guys did that. You guys drew a line at a certain time when you said, okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go in here and we're going to start this podcast and we're going to commit to 3 years on it. Just that is different than 99% of every human being that says, I'm going to start off one step at a time.
That's 100% true. The other part that I'm hearing you when you're describing this is, we spend so much time looking at what other people are doing. And from what I'm listening to you say, it's you need to kind of look in the mirror and say, what are you already doing? Like, what is already passionate to you? What is already interesting to you? What is it, something that you like to do? And kind of, it's almost like figure out what you like and don't worry about everybody else. You'll find your tribe, your customer that likes the same type of thing is already out there. You don't have to copy, right? Is that what I heard from you?
Yes,
absolutely. And I'll give you a great example. We have one agent who deals mostly with just traveling nurses, helping them find homes, right? And what a tiny niche that would seem to be. But what happens is you start in that little core of a niche, and then next thing you know, they're talking to other nurses and doctors and anesthesiologists. And before you know it, you've got a nice little medical, genre niche that you're in. So you're still in that same niche,
Same
but it
space,
starts
but-
at the core of something, right? Of the core of something you're passionate about.
Yep.
All right, let's get to number 5. What was number 5 right after ditto and difference?
Hey, this is the big one, man. This is like controversial, throw your eggs now, folks. People rely on their brokerage branding rather than their own personal branding. It's a huge mistake. It's a big mistake. And I don't want to sound like I'm beating up on big brokerages. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. I've been in real estate 30 years. I've researched them all. I've looked at buying them. I've worked for them. I worked for Metro Brokers, is the largest independent agency in the state of Georgia in the 90s. It was bought by Metro Brokers. Now it's the largest brokerage in the state. Of course, it's a national company. I remember when Keller Williams had 50,000 agents, right? They got 160,000 agents now. So I'm not here to beat up on big brokerage, but don't rely on any brokerage's branding. Rely on your own. And we deal with agents in 41 states and 4 other countries. We've never had a broker that had a problem with their person branding themselves and building their own bank of business. We're all independent contractors. That's what happens. We protect our brokerage, right? We follow the rules of our state legislatures and the rules of the commissions. And we're definitely not saying go against any brokers. We love brokers. In fact, we've branded brokers that branded every one of their agents.
In fact, he's a broker.
I'm a living proof of that. I'm an indie broker. I've researched buying franchises. I've never, for me personally and my style, I've never seen the benefit in it. It's just not worth the extra cost to me for what they might give me back in return. Every one of, not all of my agents, I've got 23 agents, about 9 of them are branded, personally branded. But what's really cool about them is if you take one of the branded ones, they outdo, their bank of business outdoes all of the rest of them combined that are not branded. So it's like living proof. Now they carry my brokerage with them wherever they go. And I'm the umbrella, and I've set the culture, and I've said it's about the people, not the profit. And I'm the one that says a rising tide raises all ships. I didn't say that. John F. Kennedy did, but I wanted to build an organization that was based upon that. And so now all of my agents are like that. I don't have infighting. I don't have competition between agents. I don't have anybody stealing anybody's leads or trying to cut in front of anybody. And every one of my agents are successful. And so that's my culture. That's my tribe that you were talking about right there. And so I encourage my people, take your brand with you, because I know they're going to protect mine, and my brand gets to go right along with them. I just can't knock on every door. I can't meet every customer. It's impossible. I would love to.
It's amazing what happens in your organization when you empower your people, when you give them the opportunity to really grow. Because, essentially they can get to a point where they can leave and do their own thing, but they don't, because they love what you've helped them do. They what you're giving them is empowering. It's something that other brokerages just aren't. Other brokerages are about themselves, versus it sounds like what you're creating is you're trying to get them to be like, look, this is your business. Yeah, I'm helping, I'm training, I got your back, but this is your business, right?
Yes. And I don't think big brokerages do that. I think big brokers say, this is my business, go do it for me. And that's okay. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it. I surmise it like this. A lot of people, the big KW, right? I'm a huge Keller Williams fan. I'm a big Gary Keller fan. I think he's smart. Obviously, built the biggest brokerage that's ever been built, but they don't pass any more leads. If you do the math, they said at their family reunion meeting that they passed out 2.7 million leads last year. Right. That's fantastic. And when you look at it, you're like, oh my God, I can't wait till I'm big enough that I can pass 2.7 leads. But when you average that times 160,000 agents worldwide, that's 1.25 lead a month. That's what most brokerages give. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're out there, and they serve their purpose. And I've talked to I can't tell you, hordes of people that said, well, I did research, and they give me the back end, they give me the accounting, they give me these perks and stuff, and they set up these suites, and I can go this, and and there's CRMs and stuff like that. And I find they're valuable, and I never discourage that. I'm like, if you find they're valuable and you can
utilize
bloom,
that,
you can bloom where you're planted, and go for it. That is great, but we've also seen this huge rise in indie brokerages lately, because people are realizing what we're trying to teach everybody. People don't do business with a logo. They do business with a person. And even the indie brokers, there's plenty of people that have huge indie brokerages, 350, 400, 1,000 agents, and they don't have any affiliation with a franchise. And they started with one person.
Yeah, it's going to come down to it, right? Alexa, give me the best realtor in my town. Who's going to pop up? The one that has the biggest personal brand, right? Or if you're paying Alexa to do it. And at that point, it's a little bit different. But that's the idea, right? They're going to connect you with the people who are the most successful. All right, number 6.
They choose to market themselves before their brand is built.
Big.
People need to understand the difference between marketing and branding. Marketing is putting out a message or an image across different marketing vehicles or platforms. You're using those platforms to get the message out. But the message and the image that you're trying to get out there is your brand. So that takes you back to being ditto versus different, right? So if you're just somebody out there that's going to slap your logo up there, a photo, some tagline that says greatest real estate agent on earth or something like that, and you put it out there and there's nothing different that tells them why they should do business with you, you're marketing just like everybody else. And if you had any idea how much money I've seen wasted over the years that I've been in anywhere near this business, right? Because I worked for almost 30 years in various different industries, like over 25 different industries. Real estate is just one of those. There's so much money wasted in marketing, it would blow your mind. And that's because they don't have their story down. They don't define. We have a 3D process we call define, develop, and display. Define that brand, develop every piece and part that goes with it so that you can articulate that, and then display that literally everywhere consistently. So until you develop that brand, build that brand, that your marketing is going to be lackluster at best, and you're going to waste a lot of money.
It's a popularity. Yeah, go for it, Michael.
Well, not to cut you off, but I'm living proof of it. I did it until I met her. That's the honest truth. And when I met her, I told her, I said, she gave me the pitch, and I said, look, I've had 4 others just like it, and I don't need another one. But
you did say that.
But I was wrong. We're recording this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was wrong. Did y'all hear me? I was
got
wrong.
points there. You're wrong.
She always likes it when I say it at least twice. But it's true. Like when you say marketing doesn't work, I can't tell you how many times I've laid in bed at night or sat on my couch and think, this marketing don't work. You know what I mean? This phone ain't rang. I've spent all this money. I've done all these things. We have people call us. I sent 10,000 postcards out. And nobody called. I had a puppy dog on it. And you know what I mean? And we're like, I don't know.
It was cute. It was cute.
It's not marketing. It's not, you haven't branded yourself and worked inside a space that your budget will afford. The reason the country knows who Zillow is because they have $20 million a year to spend to tell us who they are.
They have outspent. They have not outmarketed. They have outspent.
They've just outspent. Just like, so, we have to first off, we have to sort of narrow down, build your brand, and then put your brand in a space that you can manage. And when everybody in that space knows exactly who you are and your brand, you're going to see your ROI go through the roof. That's when you're going to start looking at your statistics and go, man, I got that many phone calls this month. Man,
I wish I'd done this last
closings.
year or 10 years ago. Right.
Yeah. It's a popularity contest. Going back to high school, you got to be the popular kid, and what we focus our attention now on the podcast is building testimonials for that exact reason. Because you can tell the world how great you are, and some people may believe you and some people may not. But if your customers are telling people how good you are, you're getting other people to talk about you. And the fact that you have it recorded and you're posting it on your social medias, you're creating ads for them, you're rolling it on your YouTube pages, people are seeing you consistently. That's what's going to make you successful. That's what's building your brand. You are pushing it forward, but your customers, when you record what they're saying about you, that's really adding fuel, popularity points to your brand. So since we're doing testimonials, I'm going to ask you guys just completed your 2nd episode on the Business Bros. So 2 questions. 1, what was your experience like? And 2, who should be listening to the show?
Okay. The experience was, this is one of the most energetic podcast we've ever been on.
Agreed.
And energy produces positivity. It gets your blood flowing. It makes you want to do better and be better. Okay. That's what I've learned. And I think that anybody who wants to do better and be better should be listening to this podcast.
Agreed. And I want to add this to it. Number one, go back and look at past episodes and see how they're improving. And because this is the most important thing, you've set your brand a long time ago. And yes, you've admitted you've changed some things around a little bit, but you are still the same Hernan that we knew back then, full of energy, full of excitement, full of love for the world. And this is the positivity of what I can get done for you. This, and you've built upon that now. Now you've layered it with this intricacies that are fantastic. The clips, everything down to like putting the banners on, the lower banner with our name going across. I mean, you guys it's exquisite. And I say that anybody wanting to build a business of any kind needs to be listening to this podcast.
Thank you guys very much. Yeah. Super kind words. But, ladies and gents, that's what it's about. How do you get your customers to talk about you and say beautiful things? I'm going to share with you guys our framework, if you don't mind. Real quick, it's really simple.
Love to hear.
The first thing we did was we told them how awesome they were. We told them about everything they've done in their history, and it wasn't really difficult. James spends a little bit of time before the show researching on this platform called Google. You might have heard of it, right? You do a little bit of homework. You get to know who you're going to be talking to, tell them how awesome they are. Then we spent some time asking them how awesome they are. They have knowledge, they have information, they have experience. We wanted to know all about that. So we gave them the best experience possible. And then we asked, and that is the key to your success. You have to ask, right? Ask for that testimonial, ask for that referral, ask for that business. You have to ask. And so we asked, what did you think of your experience? What did you think of the Business Bros podcast? And we got them to say beautiful things about our show. We can help you get your customers say beautiful things about you the same way and start building that popularity points that you need so that you can build your brand. It's really that simple. Go to businessbros.biz/testimonials to make sure that you guys get those testimonials and put them to work for you. Before we head out, because I didn't do this and I got to make sure I do this. What do people want to work with you guys? They need to build their brand. They have no idea where to start. They have no idea how to get started with any of that process. How can they get a hold of you guys?
All right, there's two ways. Go to, on the bottom of the screen, brandfacerealestate.com. There's actually a free training video on there that is a great foundational piece to teach you why it's important, how we do it, and all the benefits that they will get from it. Okay. And that's kind of where you might start. The other thing is, if you're sitting there thinking, hey, I already know this stuff, I'm in, man, let's talk about this. Go to discussyourbrand.com, discussyourbrand.com. And then you can book a call with our team. It's a free, we'll take up to 30 minutes with you, really talking about what your challenges and goals are. And we take it from there, determine if there's a fit, and we could get you started same day.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, look, Michael and Tonya have been doing this for a long time. They've helped a lot of agents build a brand. If you're just getting started and you don't know where to start, do it. Just go on that 30-minute call. Start working on something today. I mean, it would have been better if you started years ago, but today's a good day to get started because you don't know what the future is going to hold.
Today's the next best day.
Yes, today's the next best day. Absolutely. So make sure you guys go check it out. BrandFaceRealEstate.com. And what was the other one?
DiscussYourBrand.com.
DiscussYourBrand.com. Two places for you guys to go check out. Michael, Tonya, thank you guys for coming on the show for a second time. And again, 6 different ways that we talked about that you're already messing up as a real estate agent, but you can make those corrections because now you know. So guys, thank you very much. And of course, I don't think we can leave without playing Bad to the Bone. The rest of that thing's just.
That's right. Right.
You guys are incredible. You guys are incredible. Thank you, James.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys again next time. Peace out, y'all.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@csfirst.com to schedule a free consultation. Or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.